Hey guys, it's Pound from Pound's Firearms. We are continuing our 6-month review on the FN Reflex. Finally got it back from FN. Let's take a look at it. Let's see what could be going wrong with it. Tune in. Alright guys, welcome back here. So we're back with the FN Reflex. Did get it back from FN. We are clear, just so you guys can see that. Got it back from FN. You know, I'm not going to say FN's customer service is excellent, but it's pretty good. I mean, it's pretty good. So, yeah, I watched the 6-month review there, the first part of the 6-month review. They didn't answer the first email. I did call them up. They were more than happy to help. They sent a shipping label out that same day. I got it packaged up to them. I sent them in a junk hard case. Sent that out to them. I didn't really bother them. It was less than 2 weeks, I think, maybe a week and a half. All of a sudden, I get a shipping label back. I'm like, well, that's odd. I got the shipping label back, but nobody ever told me what's going on. So I emailed them back, and this is the first time they've answered an email in a while. But they emailed back and said, yeah, you know, yeah, it's coming back to you. Basically, looks like the gunsmith looked at it, and there's a broken guide rod. Replaced the guide rod, test fired it, fired fine, so we're sending it back to you. Well, I already knew I had a broken guide rod. That's kind of why I sent it in. But yeah, so here it is, back from FN. You know, I've never had a problem with FN. I've had, like, maybe I stripped a screw for the optics plate, or maybe you know, the 502 the sight's a little loose or something, or all the rear plate on the 502 is held in by the optics plate. So when you switch out optics plates, it also affects the rear sight. But yeah, I've never had anything catastrophic happen with an FN, so that was a little sad. We're gonna go ahead and take this sucker apart here, so we are clear. I think this one, if I remember right, comes up. Yep, there we go. And you might hear some wind here because it is windier than snot outside. So there's nothing wrong with the frame, but a 6-month review. Looks like they cleaned it up for me here because I didn't send it to them clean. So it looks pretty decent right now. Let's take a look at this guy here. So here's the culprit right here. Let's just make sure. Yeah, it looks like it's all pre-greased. Yeah, you know, it's a little sloppy. Let's see if we can wipe that down a little bit here. Yeah, so nothing too crazy. All right, so this is the culprit here. So this time around, I'm trying to find out where I can put my viewfinder a little easier here. So yeah, so it's plastic, and I think I commented about how, you know, hey, that's plastic, that's kind of junky, whatever. I got a few comments from you guys, and Glock's also make them in plastic, and they do full size. So plastic or polymer, or however you want to call it, probably isn't that bad, I guess. Yeah, it's kind of hard to say. I mean, I don't know. Did I just get a lemon? Was it a one-time thing or what? So as you can see here, I don't know. Let me get my pointer. See how good we can get into this light here. I mean, this light's bright as sin when you look at it, but man, it doesn't do justice on the camera, so I have to figure that out here. But yeah, if you take a look at it here, so here's this metal ring. So this metal ring captures the whole base of this part of it here. But there is one little spot here where it's open. So you can see here's the metal, and then it turns to polymer. So basically, when it broke, I was able to take it apart, and this polymer guide rod basically slides into this. You can probably hear the wind howling here. We got like 80-mile-an-hour winds or something going on outside. It's howling like a champ. Yeah, so basically it clicks in there, and then of course, you know, once the spring's in there, the spring's in there. So you can see there's 2 different springs, 2 different width springs going different directions. It's polymer at the tip. But yeah, so it's replaced. It looks new. I did give it a couple test racks. Nothing's happened so far. so far. The hard part is you never know when it's going to happen now. There's some test here. So while I'm doing these dry fires here, so one thing I wanted to point out here, since it is kind of a 6-month review here, the one thing that I'm having a tough time with is I really dig the trigger once you're shooting it. The hard part about this trigger here is how bad the reset is. So here's all the take up, and then it's not only is there take up, but then there's mush, and then it goes bang. So it's way back here. Look how far this reset is, man. It's got to go all the way to the front, basically. So, you know, if I had to complain about something on the trigger, it'd be the reset. The trigger itself is fine because it's got that whole hammer feature. Let me take it apart here just in case you guys don't know and you didn't watch the first couple of videos on it here. But yeah, so basically, here's the hammer section here. So there you go. So this is the part that, you know, you hit the trigger and it snaps up. Latches down there. You're going to hit it and it comes kicking up. Hopefully I took enough pressure off that. There you go. So it's their version of a hammer fired. I dig it. It's awesome. The reset's a little long for my liking. Let's see. See if it breaks. Oh. All right. All right. Well, yeah. There you go. So this is a 6-month review part 2. FN sent it back. It is fixed. The only thing we can do now is go take some shots. So let's go shoot it a couple times. I'm not going to use my defense loads here, but we'll go ahead and empty out and empty these out and just put a couple magazines through it. Just some home loads, and we'll go from there. In case you guys spotted it here, you did notice there was 2 holsters. So probably about 4 months ago, maybe 6 months ago, I did a giveaway on a holster. Guess who never claimed the holster? The guy that announced that won it. So if you guys want a holster, let me know, and maybe I'll just send you a holster here for a Reflex. It is homemade. Go ahead and pull up the video. I'll see if I can maybe pop it in this corner or something. Yeah, there's an A and a B. The way you can tell the differences here is B is flush right here. A has a little boo-boo. That was the first one I made. You see the little notch in there, the extra notch. So that was the first one I made, and I got a little better on the second one. But yeah, if you're interested in a holster, hit me up. See if I can send one of these out to you. All right, enough of the blabbing. Let's go to the range. All right, guys, welcome back to the range. Attempt number 2. FN Reflex. So, yeah, we'll see what she does. Obviously, this is not going to be a stress test or anything. They just replaced the guide rod like I was talking about, and yeah, really all I'm going to find out here today is if it can put a couple rounds down, because that's a little scary, you know. I had 200 rounds through it. The guide rod spring breaks. I mean, what if I was in a self-defense situation there and now I have a paperweight? So this thing's gonna have to build my truss back up again. So we're just gonna put a couple mags down it, just check for functionality, and I'll do a part 3 here later on. And yeah, part 3 will just see how many rounds I can put through it before it fails again. But yeah, let's get to it here. So these are just practice loads. Haven't shot it yet since we got it back, so we'll see what happens here. Tell you what though, I forgot how much I like this trigger. Alright, well, first 11 went through okay. Let's see how the next 15 go here. Where am I hitting here? There we go. Uh-oh. Guide rod spring's still in there. See if we can fish this sucker out here. We're clear. So I don't think that was the FN's fault there. Might just be a bad primer on my home loads here. There we go. Well, I'll survive 2 magazines. So yeah, like I said, we'll go ahead and we will go ahead and continue to work on this thing here. See if we can get the slide lock off. I love how small it is. But yeah, that whole guide rod spring kind of turned me off here. So, all right, well, let's go back to the bench. We'll finish it off here, and all right, guys, welcome back. We'll stay tuned. So yeah, we didn't do anything too crazy. Just shot a couple rounds through it. I did put my defense loads back in here, so we are still clear. Oh, still hasn't popped yet, so good. But then again, I only put 11 to 15 rounds through it here. So yeah, so we are clear. Want a holster, let me know. I use them both. They're both almost identical. Yeah, so continuing our 6-month review. This is definitely going to require a part 3. I can't, in good faith, give you a good review on this because it failed after, I think, what was that, 200 rounds. Yeah, it failed after 200 rounds. So, and it wasn't like a screw got stripped or, you know, I mean, it was catastrophic. Had I, you know what? Here, I'll demonstrate. I didn't get to demonstrate what I did here. So, I carry it chambered. This is how I carry it. I came home, took it out of my holster, or out of my waist, took the holster off, emptied the magazine, dumped the round, and literally right there when I dumped the round, I was like, you know what? This thing's a little dirty. So, took it apart. Want to take it apart here? We'll just see. Took it apart. Gave it some love, gave it some juice, and wiped down some of the cobwebs and stuff off of it there from being in the pocket for so long. I literally did this, and ping, it was gone. That's literally what I did. So, yeah, had I been in a self-defense situation, and I had to draw, and I got one shot off, and then the next shot, you know, I tried to load, and the spring went shooting out. Man, I mean, I guess I'd hope that maybe the spring popped them or something, but yeah, that's pretty scary. A lot scary. This is out of the rotation now. I mean, we've only had it back for a few weeks now, but it's out of the rotation until I get some build up some trust. It is slowly starting, our spring's starting to come around out here, so. I'll have a need for a subcompact again. Shorts, you know, t-shirts, whatever else. So I'll have a need for the subcompact again. So I don't know if I'll switch over to 365 or if I give this thing another whack here. But I think what we're going to do here is for part 3 is I'm going to try to put as many rounds as I can through it here. Hopefully another, you know, 2, 3, 4,000 rounds. We'll see until I feel confident about it. I don't know that I ever will. This might be a gun that just sits in the safe now. So, but yeah, stay tuned for part 3 if you're interested to see how it's gonna live up to the extra shots there. But yeah, we're gonna start shooting the crap out of this thing here before I can actually carry it around, and we'll see where we go from there. All right, guys. So this is a 6-month review part 2. 6-month review part 1 was it busting because I literally was taking it apart, getting it out of the holster, getting the cobwebs off so I can record this video. It's kind of funny. If you want a holster, let me know. There's A with the notch. You see that? A's got the notch. There it is. And then B does not have the notch. Whoever won it before, I forget who it is, but yeah, I think I've waited enough for you. So you never reached back out to me. If you want it again, go ahead and reach out to me again. But that video that I did on the announcer is null and void. All right, guys, this is Pound for Pound's Firearms. Stay tuned for the next videos. I'm signing off.